Member of Parliament, the Regional Chief Director from the Regional Coordinating Council, our former municipal or district chief executives here in present, rep of the Chief Justice, the Divisional Commander, our revered traditional authorities, chiefs and queen mothers present, honorable assembly members, representative of the various agencies, officers of the assembly, leaders of faith-based organizations, our friends from the Inky fraternity, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am happy to join you at the inauguration of the district assemblies through my able representatives, which follows the successful conduct of the district level election in December last year. Let me at this point congratulate all the elected assembly and unit committee members. I have also, in accordance with the 1992 Constitution of the Republic, appointed 30% of assembly members who, together with those elected, as well as your members who are going to join you, and your member of parliament and district chief executives, constitute the membership of this assembly. You, as assembly members, have the mandate to deliberately plan, mobilize resources, make decisions, including bylaws, to ensure the transformation of your district towards the Ghana we all want. Honorable assembly members, today's occasion marks another important milestone towards deepening decentralization as stipulated in Article 35, Clause 6D of the 1992 Constitution. Indeed, this article enjoins the states to promote decentralization and popular participation in governance by affording all opportunities to the citizenry to participate in decision-making at all levels of government. The decentralization reforms that started in 1988 with only 110 district assemblies have made progress on several fronts. Today, as we inaugurate 259 district assemblies out of a total of 261, with the exclusion of Nkranza South Municipal and Nkranza North District Assemblies, whose tenure is yet to end. We can all agree that government is closer to the people than it had ever been in the history of this country. As we constitute the membership of the District Assembly, it is Nana Chair, we can all agree that government is closer to the people than it had ever been in the history of this country. As we constitute the membership of the District Assembly, it is envisaged that new ideas and opportunities would emerge to deepen the deliberative, legislative, and executive functions of the District Assembly. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Constitution spells out clearly the process through which we should decentralize governance to the local level. After 3 decades of its promulgation, this remains very much a work in progress. The instinct of the average citizen is still to look towards Accra or their members of parliament for things that fall within the remit of the District Assembly. I am expecting that you will be part of the team that finally change the status quo and deepen local governance and decentralization to enable citizenry have access to public and basic services in their districts, rather than commuting to Accra for such services. Thus, therefore, calls for continuous capacity building programs by the Institute of Local Government Studies and other relevant academic institutions to enable you carry out your responsibilities devolved to you by law as an assembly member. Honorable members, let me state that it is an honor and privilege to be elected or appointed to serve the residents of your localities. I therefore entreat you to build good working relationships with your colleague assembly members, the Honorable District Chief Executive, Member of Parliament, staff of the District Assembly, and the people you represent. You should also establish strong partnerships and collaborate with the local structures, particularly traditional leaders, opinion leaders, and other indefatigable groups to facilitate the work of the District Assembly. I wish to assure you that it is through these partnerships and collaborations that local governance is optimized for the benefit of the residents in your local areas. Honorable Assembly members, let me remind you again, the District Assembly is being inaugurated at a time when efforts are being made by government through the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development to improve on mobilization of internally generated funds of the MMDAs. To this end, I wish to entreat you to work closely with each other to create innovative ways of mobilizing the needed resources for the development within your areas. Nana Chair, honorable members, I address you at your inaugural meeting to commence a 4-year tenure, 2024 to 2027. Take note that the district assemblies are a critical part of our governance structure and processes with a significant role dedicated to local institutions. The district assemblies are mandated to support the government to deliver on its programs and projects to the benefit of the people. Together with your DCE, I charge you to advance the implementation of the government's coordinated programs of economic and social development policies. Agenda for Jobs, Phase 2, creating prosperity and equal opportunity for all. Therefore, in your deliberations, planning and decision-making for development, ensure that you localize these national development priorities into local action. Honorable Assembly members, the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development has formulated several sector policies that contribute towards the national agenda. These are the National Decentralization Policy and Strategy 2020-2024, which is due for review and form the crust of our approach and strategy towards deepening decentralization. 2. National Urban Policy and Action Plan 2012, which has been revised pending its approval. 3. Local Economic Development Policy and Action Plan 2020, which has been revised pending its approval. And National Rural Development Policy 2019. As you deliberate on development intervention in your local areas, it is important that these policies guide your decision making. Local programs will need to be consistent with national and sectoral. Honorable Assembly members, as part of government efforts to deepen decentralization and improve citizenry access to public services, government promulgated Birth and Death Registration Act 1027 and Birth and Death Registration Regulations in 2021, Section 1, 2, C, and D, and joined the Birth and Death Registry with support from district assemblies to establish district offices located in all the district capitals and sub-district offices located in each district. Sections 8, 9, 10, and 12 enjoin the registry of birth and death to appoint district registrar, registration officer, registration assistant, and establishment of community population register. Section 24 also states that a district registrar shall register every fatal death that occurs in the sub-district within the district, while Section 27 stipulates that the district registrar in the district in which a death occurred shall register within 10 days after the death. And all these provisions in the Act place responsibilities on you, our honorable assembly members, to deepen your engagement and community sensitization on these legislations to ensure full compliance and consequently ensuring the dividends on these centralizations are met. Honorable members, the leadership challenges at the district level are enormous and complex. Section 16(1) of Act 936 mandates you to maintain close contact with the electoral area, consult the people on the issues to be discussed in the district assembly, collate their views, opinions, and proposals, and take part in communal and developmental activities. In the performance of these roles and responsibilities, assembly members face constant requests from their electoral areas for support in initiating and executing microeconomic projects. Although assembly members channel these requests to the district assemblies, inactions on the part of some bureaucrats are causing disaffection and cynicism about the important roles of assembly members. To overcome these problems, you should acquaint yourselves with all the relevant laws and work in close collaboration with your district chief executive, traditional authorities, opinion leaders, religious leaders, and other key stakeholders in your localities. It is therefore expected that you avail yourselves and take advantage of capacity building programs under the aegis of Institute of Local Government Studies to deepen your knowledge and understanding of local governance and decentralization to better position you to perform assigned duties using innovative strategies while demonstrating high leadership qualities. To this end, it is worth noting that the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development through the Institute of Local Government Studies will, in the next few weeks, provide orientation and training to enable you understand the roles and responsibilities as well as leadership requirements that will be needed to enable you perform your functions seamlessly. And Chair, your duties are clearly spelled out in Section 16 of the Local Governance Act, 2016 Act 936. Some of these include maintenance of close contact with the electoral area of the district assembly, consulting the people of the electoral area on the issues to be discussed in the District Assembly collect their views, opinions, and proposals. 2. Present the views, opinions, and proposals of the electorate to the District Assembly. 3. Meet the electorate before and after each meeting of the District Assembly. This is very important. Report to the electorate the general decision of the District Assembly and actions the member has taken to solve problems raised by the residents in the electoral area. Draw attention in general debate to national policies that are relevant to the subject under discussion, among others. All these duties and other responsibilities place enormous obligations on you as honorable assembly members. In this regard, a reform is currently being pursued by the government to explore options to provide adequate support to you, honorable assembly members, to enable you to perform your duties. Honorable members, in 2020, your predecessors' attention was drawn to a major challenge relating to unplanned and haphazard development within the jurisdiction of most district assemblies. This phenomenon has serious implications for national development and public safety. Therefore, the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, together with Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority, held a consultative meeting to apprise the citizenry on guidelines for planning and development permitting in Ghana. As you begin work today, it is my ardent hope that you will help enforce planning standards and compliance of the Land Use and Spatial Planning Act, Act 925, as well as other regulations governing human settlement and spatial planning. Honorable members, let me also emphasize that good governance entails active participation of the citizenry in the development process. Consequently, your district assembly must create a platform for stakeholders using participatory tools and processes, including town hall meetings and community debates, to establish a strong linkage between duty bearers and citizens. Section 40 to 48 of the Local Government Act, Act 936, makes provision for citizens' right to participate in district assembly processes, modalities, and platforms for participation, rights for stakeholder to petition, and inclusion of marginalized groups. It is therefore your duty to respond to petitions and the duty of the district chief executives to report on the performance of this social contract with the people to the district assembly. Finally, let me remind you that your people require you selflessness, devotion to duty, a very accountable stewardship, and your ability to represent the needs of the people to guide development that will ultimately improve on their quality of life. I wish you a successful tenure, honorable members. I now have the pleasure to formally, on behalf of His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, declare Jomoro District Assembly duly inaugurated. Congratulations, and may God bless us and make our nation great and strong.